Here is a bit of President Biden from yesterday talking about masks.
I'm reiterating my call for every governor, mayor, and local leader to maintain and reinstate the mask mandate. Please, this is not politics. Reinstate the mandate if you let it down. And business should require masks as well. The failure to take this virus seriously, precisely what got us into this mess in the first place, risks more cases and more deaths. Look, as I do my part to accelerate the vaccine distribution and vaccinations, I need the American people to do their part as well. Mask up. Mask up. It's a patriotic duty. It's the only way we ever get back to normal. To cheer together in stadiums full of fans. To gather together on holidays again safely. Go to graduations, weddings.
So, Anna, I'm glad that he's saying it's a patriotic duty, that it's not about politics. These are all the things that I wanted Trump to say, that he was too weak and small to say. That said, it's not gonna get through to the people who need to hear it. I mean, it's better than nothing, but it is politics to these people. It is so core to their political identity to want to get and spread this disease.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the main problems is we have a party, the Republican Party, which, until recently was led by in some ways is still led by Donald Trump, unfortunately, that is unwilling to really provide any policy solutions to the instability that many Americans are dealing with right now. And so what do they offer in lieu of actual robust policy proposals? Culture wars. And the mask, it very intentionally became a symbol of a Republican-fueled culture war. And unfortunately, Republican voters fell for it to their detriment. And so, I think that there's a part of me that's kind of gotten to a point where I'm like, okay, all right, you want to get sick, get sick. You don't want to wear the mask. You want to get people close to you sick. You don't want to follow the guidelines. Like, what are we going to do? Like, how am I going to force anyone to do anything? And so I think it's a defense mechanism, a self-protection mechanism, just so I don't lose my mind, to just kind of brush it off as, you do you, boo. As long as my family's vaccinated, as long as my loved ones are protected, as long as we're okay, I'm not going to try to dictate what you do in your personal life. But it is unfortunate, precisely for the reasons that I mentioned earlier. The reason why we have variants already is because this virus mutates. And there is the potential of a variant or variants that are not responsive to the vaccine. That's what we need to be concerned about. And it just sucks that these loser politicians who don't offer any real solutions to people have decided instead to focus on the culture wars and to turn something that can literally save their lives, something as simple as a mask, into a symbol of that culture war.
Totally. Yeah, and look, God, it's so dark, but like theoretically, 6 months from now, we will still be giving updates about the pandemic, but at that point you might think, well, the people who will be getting sick and dying at that point are the ones who have chosen not to get vaccinated. So that will be a particular type of tragedy. But that's not even necessarily true. I mean, that's mostly what it's going to be. But there are people who cannot get vaccinated for health reasons, or because they're too old, or because they're too young. And so those who choose not to will still be able to infect those who cannot. And it's possible, I don't know how likely it is possible that variant that Anna's worried about, that can affect people with the current vaccines, will have time and room to grow in the people who choose not to get vaccinated. And so since they choose to be a breeding ground for COVID for the next few months, the next couple of years, they might produce something that can once again begin threatening everyone else. And that's even leaving aside the fact that the vaccine isn't 100% protection anyway. And so you're still always going to be at risk from the people who choose not to get vaccinated. Now, that said, bit of good news yesterday, at least 6 states, Texas, Kansas, Louisiana, North Dakota, Ohio, and Oklahoma, made all adults eligible for vaccination. New York also said that all adults would be eligible starting at April 6th. So look, especially Texas, a big state, big population. Probably going to be a lot of COVID there since their governor doesn't give a damn about it. So good that you can get vaccinated there. And New York, obviously, like sort of the starting point for all of this, having everyone be able to be vaccinated is not only great considering all that New York has been through, but also in theory, future variants on the virus are probably going to hit New York like they did the first time. So all the more reason you would want people in these big sort of transit hubs to be as vaccinated as possible. We've been talking about it forever. And it gets better, sort of, a little bit. But man, they are just trying to drag out as many deaths and illnesses as possible. Like we've said for months and months, they're working for COVID. They're not getting paid. They're unpaid interns for COVID-19, basically. Just working in its best interests.
They might pay with their lives. I mean, something to consider.
Yeah, or they might just kill other people.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.